Hello and welcome to the very first RekLes Racing League event. This will be a 12-lap race around Wild West Motorsports Park. Expect to see some interesting track development, for it's been carried over from practice to qualifying and now the race. In the pole position we have Cameron Peterson with a 50.330. Right behind him, William Booth, and then Jeremy Sodor, Jack Kirk, and Nick Leone to finish out the 5-car field. We currently have 10 members in the league, and we're hoping to see the rest of them fill out the field on our Sunday morning race at 8 a.m. Pacific time. We got them all bunched up, and we're about to go green. Nice tight group. Coming into turn one, always tricky on the first lap. Booth goes a little wide, makes just enough room. Nick Leone comes in to make it 3 wide for turn one. Nick dives in early, but Jack gets the run around the outside. 0 contact so far. That shows the caliber of drivers racing in this league. It's not an easy thing to do with the limited visibility from inside these cars. Door-to-door contact is permitted in this league, as it is in official Lucas off-road racing events. It's just simply a trademark of off-road truck racing. That being said, drivers still have to respect one another, and passes with contact should only be made out of a necessity. Off-road short course racing is a contact sport. However, in a long race like this, drivers will do anything they can to preserve their vehicle. It truly is a race of attrition, and they'll want to avoid contact with walls, other drivers, and or landing too hard off of jumps. The top 3 begin to pull away as they settle in for this 12-lap race. And the leader, Cameron Peterson, is pulling off the track. Possibly mechanical damage. We did have an open qualifying session where racers could make as many laps as they wanted, and I think that maybe if you aren't careful, you could use up your car before the race. A nice Scandinavian flick by William Booth into turn 1. A move made famous by rally drivers such as Colin McRae and other greats. Works well for getting a car to initiate a turn on flat surfaces. I would say a majority of my time in the sim chair has been behind the wheel of a rally car in either Finland or somewhere with high speed jumps, wide open corners, things like that. And the driving style that I learned from that environment adapts very well to this. The braking, shifting, accelerating, everything is very similar. So if you're of a rally background and looking for a change of pace, this is a nice wide open track where you can go door to door with competitors. iRacing has rallycross as well, but you should definitely give this a try. Nick Leone gets a run on Cameron Peterson up the inside. Looks like he's going to make the pass. Cameron yields way, given he has a mechanical disadvantage. That's the right thing to do. Good on him. Jeremy Sodorf's trying to reel in William Booth. If anyone's ever raced with him before, they know that's not an easy thing to do. Once William gets out front, good luck. We have Jack Kirk coming up the back straight. Always a fun, clean competitor. Good for door-to-door races. We'll see how he handles this tricky number turn 7 here. Perfectly smooth, consistent, good exit. And here's Nick Leone, always a fun guy to race with. Nerves of steel, doesn't buckle under pressure. You can apply as much pressure as you want, and he's still gonna hold the line and call your bluff. 188, Jeremy Sodorf hangs on second place. William Booth still in the lead. Jeremy trying to keep William in his sights, but he's a tough cat to run down once he gets out in the front. He likes to run a wide line, carry a lot of speed. Jeremy, on the other hand, favors an inside line, and as the blue groove develops in the corners, we'll see whose style can find the most speed. Well, it doesn't get much smoother than that as William Booth continues to stretch out his lead. Nick Leone hanging on to the third spot. Jack Kirk not far behind him. Here's a look at your top four. William Booth out front, Jeremy in second, Nick in third, and Jack rounding off in fourth place. I don't know if Cameron Peterson is still out or if he's in the pits. Watch the speed William gets on his exit. Oh, there's Cameron. Looks like he's still out. Don't know if he took a pit and fixed it or if he's just trying to limp it around. That's the thing about these Pro 4 trucks. They're very heavy, powerful, and fragile machines. If you can listen to Cameron's engine here, you can tell he's down on power. On this track, that's generally caused by landing off the finish line jump, and once you lose that power, the car just not only isn't as fast, it doesn't corner right, it doesn't apex well, it's hard to get the car around the track. Number 188 working the throttle as he tries to get the car to rotate. Notice how the engine bogs to try to maintain traction and get a good launch up this hill. Vehicle setup is very critical on this track. Having your suspension just right so it can handle this bump right up here without being too stiff. Still allow for traction in the corners, yet have the ability to go 100 miles an hour off of this jump and land smoothly. As you can see, Williams' truck is set up immaculately. Look for the dark, shiny surface going into the corners. That's called blue groove. That's pure rubber that's rubbing off on the dirt from the traffic. That's something that iRacing has done that I've never seen in any other platform. It's a really interesting concept that does occur in real off-road races, sometimes so much that you actually see tire smoke coming off of the dirt. Let's check the pits, see who... Oh no, we lost Jack Kirk as well. Bummer. Well, we do 2 races a week, one on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and another on Sunday at 8 a.m. And what that does is it gives racers that can't make one race or have a bad race a chance to redeem themselves for only one race per week it's counted. You can see Jeremy hugging the inside on the exit to try to avoid that blue groove. It can benefit and it can take away depending on how your vehicle's set up. And as you can see, as the track dries out, the blue groove gets even shinier, and now we're starting to get some dust. A big hats off to iRacing for creating such an authentic off-road experience. I didn't think that in my lifetime we'd see anything like this, mostly just because there's not a huge demand for it. It's a small niche of people who like off-road racing, and especially four-wheel drive at that. The Pro 2 Lite seems to be the most popular form of off-road truck racing on here. but I feel it lacks authenticity, and that's why I'm trying to push the Pro 4 series as much as possible. You can hear William feathering the throttle trying to get his truck to rotate, because on that hard, slick surface, the front end wants to push instead of rotate. That kind of throttle modulation allows the differentials to lock and unlock and help the car pivot around the corner. Perfect inside line by William there as he holds on to his lead. Jeremy doesn't seem to have anything for him. He can keep him in his sights, but that's about it. Nick Leone holds on to third place. Seems to be running strong, no mechanical issues or smoke coming out of that car. I'd really like to see more entries in these races, so anyone out there that wants to join, regardless of how fast you can go, all you have to do is be able to run clean laps, and you're welcome to join in this event. It'll happen twice a week for the next 4 weeks, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Unfortunately, we ran out of our allotted time for the replays, so we'll have to finish the race on board with Jeremy Sodorf as he tries to run down William Booth. Only hitting a top speed of 99 miles per hour on the straightaways, the cars begin to fade toward the end of this 12-lap race. As you can see, iRacing has even added the effect of dirt accumulating on your visor, and you have to use tear-offs to keep your visibility clear. With the exception of privately hosted events where it is allowed, everyone has to use the in-car first-person view in iRacing events. I think this brings a real, authentic, competitive nature versus some of the other so-called simulators that allow third-person views, because even if you're the best driver out there, someone with full visibility of their car can always take a little more of an advantage when it comes to tight, sticky situations or taking a risk. Well, there it was, folks. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in joining, look for RekLes Racing in the iRacing League directory.